What is going on YouTube? Lamont at large, coming to you from, I can't even tell you, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Big shout out to that man that lives in this private property behind this gate that I drove into, unbeknownst to me, and the sign posted saying private property. He was very nice and not sticking a shotgun in my face. Shout out to him. So today, I'm going to show you the final resting place of Isaac Mooring, also known as Icky, the boy who was buried 3 times. This place was not easy to get to say the least. I'll tell you the quick story of why he was buried 3 times. So Isaac was 7 years old when he died. Not very sure, because no autopsy was done, so there's no clear-cut reason why he died. There's rumors online that he died from eating bad ice milk. Maybe he got brucellosis. That is a disease that you get, farmers used to get back in the days. It's like a flu type of disease, swollen lymph nodes, fatigue, fever, all that stuff. Or he could have died from something else. He could have died from lead poisoning. When the ice milk man would scoop it out, you know, we didn't use clean utensils back then. He could have died from lead poisoning or something. Anyways, originally Isaac's mother buried him on the family farm, which would have sat, well, it could have sat anywhere. More than likely it sat over yonder because there was an abandoned, it looked like a rundown farmhouse over there. And he was buried over there, and she apparently wanted a nicer, more elaborate burial place. So she moved him up atop of this hill and had a vault built for him. And this was no ordinary vault. No, this vault had him. He was in formaldehyde to preserve his body because she didn't want it to decompose. And there was a sheet of glass put over it. And the legend says every day she would come over here, actually take him out of the vault and cradle him in her rocking chair. He had a bunch of toys in the vault with him, and then she had like a broom to, you know, sweep it and keep it clean. And as you can see here, this is Icky's tomb. Now let's talk about the 3rd time he was reburied. So let me show you really quickly. So you can see inside, that would have been where he was kept in place. You can see that little spot right there in the middle. There's like a little section that could have possibly been where his body was. He was buried wearing a light colored blue sailor's uniform. Get a better view up top. Yeah, it's been, you know, this thing was built over 100 years ago. This thing has been vandalized over and over. So eventually, the family moved away to Huntington, West Virginia, and this place sat alone. And then you have, you know, local kids. They're bored. They got nothing better to do. They would come over here, hang out, drink beer, smoke marijuana, make out with chicks. All the cool things I wish I could do when I was a teenager. And supposedly one of the kids broke into the tomb and stole Isaac's skull. And then he kept it as a trophy. Cool trophy, huh? Eventually, and that happened, I think, late 70s, 79. Eventually, the locals found out that the grave was desecrated, it was robbed, and they got the remains back, and then they reburied him here. And this is the 3rd time he was buried. And there you go right there. Now, here's where the story gets a little bit confusing. I don't believe these are his parents because, of course, they have a different last name. I don't know who these people are in relation to Isaac, but it says online that they were buried in a different county, maybe by the name of Caleb. But yeah, nonetheless, a very sad story, a very interesting grave to say the least. I wish I had more of a story to tell you guys. As difficult as it was for me to get out here, is really a quick story. I would be literally just wasting your time. I would be droning on and on and on for, minutes, because the story has been lost through the many years because, one thing turns into another. Next thing you know, there's a UFO outside your window. But I'll just give you another close-up just in case. I thought I would finally climb up here just to give you a better view. Now, there was a door here. You can't see it from the outside, but you can see right here, at one time there was a door. And this is where his mother would come in and he would be in there. So I'm assuming also, because according to the census records, she had 5 kids altogether, but only one of them was living. And there is accounts of other people being buried in this crypt. So all of the toys would be all around right here. And then his body would be in one of these 3 little channels. And then there was also a story about some kids that were buried in clay jars. I don't know if they were cremated and put in the clay jars. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know if those were his brothers and or sisters. And, there was an article online saying that he was 3 years old. He was just a little over 7 when he died. There is an old legend that Isaac's mother, Emma, comes here at night. Of course, these stories always happen at night. And she's dressed in a flowing white gown. And she comes here and waits for her son to wake up. Unfortunately, once she realizes he's not waking up, she slowly disappears and then comes back to return once again to wait for her son, her only living child that she birthed. Okay. The family records are very are just not really available online. They're kind of confusing. That I'm gonna just guess that that's Isaac's uncle and aunt right there. That's just a lucky guess. I don't know. They're definitely related though. They're definitely related. Okay, guys, the sun is setting, and hey, listen, I'm not saying that I don't believe in ghosts or I do believe in ghosts. Here is what I'm saying though. Would you want to hang out with me here at nighttime? I don't think so. So I'm going to hit the road. But rest in peace to Isaac, Icky's tomb. All right, guys, Lamont at large. I'll catch up with you on the next video. Peace out.